Now listen to this again. President gave gaffe-filled answers as he mumbled through the debate. You got to see it. Watch it. Roll it.
That $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
Congressman Jim Jordan joins me now. Congressman, we learned that Biden cannot be the president for the next 4 years. I think we've settled that. But why don't you take us through what's going to happen next? Any idea?
Well, I think the big takeaway is the past 24 hours have been amazing for President Trump, frankly amazing for the country. We got two great Supreme Court decisions just a few minutes ago from the court. Last night, he was focused, he was funny, yet he was, I think, engaging. He dominated the debate. I thought the president was a real leader, and he talked about his record. I mean, this is a guy where we had a secure border, now we don't. Where we had $2 gas, now we have $4 gas. Where we had safe streets, now under Biden, we got record crime. And we had, maybe most importantly to families out there, we had stable prices versus this record inflation. And then, of course, what you were just talking about, foreign policy, we had a commander-in-chief in President Trump who projected strength versus Joe Biden. So I think this has just been an amazing 24 hours, not only for the president, but for President Trump, before the country, in these good decisions and the leadership he displayed on the debate stage last night. I think the choice is clear. President Trump should be our next president.
There's a lot of coverage this morning about his handlers, those who said he's fine and that he's sharp as a tack and that it was deep fake or cheap fake videos. I think those people were lying, and we don't know who is really running the country. I think it's that serious, Jim.
I know one thing. When President Trump wins on November 5th, he'll be running the country. He'll be the type of commander-in-chief we need. He'll be the guy focused on restoring those tax cuts, making sure they stay in place, lowering regulations, building the wall, securing the border. Projecting the kind of strength we need in foreign policy. All the things he did back in his first term, that's what's coming. That to me is what we need to be focused on, is just how strong of a leader he is and how we saw that last night.
Congressman, would you just hold on for a second? I want to cover the Supreme Court ruling on the January the 6th riot defendants. I'll get back to you in a second. Kelly O'Grady is with us. Can you explain what this means, this January the 6th ruling, what this means for the Trump interference case?
So this is really important because in that case, former President Trump is also facing an obstruction charge. And that was really at the heart of this ruling. So it was a 6-3 decision by the Supreme Court, and they scaled back an obstruction charge for the defendant in this case. And without getting into the legal jargon, this ruling narrows the scope of the law. It says that it's currently far too broad and in areas like peaceful but disruptive conduct. So this is going to go back to the D.C. court. They're going to decide if this defendant, in this case, was charged under this obstruction charge, and if now the narrower portion is charged. But the issue is this, the bigger so what is former President Trump is also facing an obstruction charge. So this could have huge implications if they find under this narrower scope this doesn't apply to him. Now, I want to give you the Biden campaign's response. They said this: violent insurrectionists and those who encourage them must be held accountable, but Donald Trump thinks otherwise. Just last night, Trump again defended January 6th and the insurrectionists who violently assaulted law enforcement officers and tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. Today's ruling doesn't change the fundamental truth that Donald Trump will always put himself over our democracy. So obviously something to watch there. I just quickly want to get to this other piece, the Fisherman's case. This was hugely impactful in the business world. Stuart, I was just speaking to a legal analyst before I got on with you. Folks are still wrapping their heads around this. This is breaking right now, but it is going to dramatically change federal agency powers. It was a 6-3 decision. It claws back the precedent set by what's known as the Chevron deference. It essentially allows these agencies to interpret confusing, ambiguous laws, then decide how they would enforce it versus leaving it to a court. Now, the case in question concerned fishermen. A federal agency said they have to allow a government representative to ride on the boats, monitor overfishing, and they have to pay for it themselves to the tune of $700 a day. This is being called, this case was the war on the administrative state. Today, the court said no more. We're siding with the little guy. Listen to this.
I'm ecstatic. We finally have a level playing field. American citizens finally have the same rights in court as the United States government. And that's huge. And that's going to make a huge difference in our industry.
The little guy, this is going to impact nearly everything you can possibly imagine. Cell phones, clothing, AI. This is huge.
It is huge, as you describe it. Kelly, thanks very much indeed. Congressman Jim Jordan, please come back in again.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to the Supreme Court's ruling on January the 6th?
Well, I think both of the cases you just talked about, the takeaway is real simple. Congress writes the laws. On the Chevron case, it's not the administrative state, it's not the bureaucrats who write the law, it's Congress. And then when it comes to this enhancing the penalties and going after folks, Congress writes the laws, not some out-of-control prosecutor who wanted to take the Sarbanes-Oxley in the January 6th case and say, oh, we're going to use that as the basis for enhancing the penalties and charges against these individuals. Congress writes the laws, not out-of-control prosecutors, not bureaucrats in the bureaucracy. That's what our Constitution is about. That's the takeaway here, and it's good for the country. That's why I said this is a good day for President Trump, good 24 hours for the country as well.
A good 24 hours for Republicans and Jim Jordan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Congressman Jordan.